In order to make tonight's contest as enjoyable as possible, please represent your school and community in a positive and respectful manner.
Hello once again, Shaker Heights varsity football fans, and welcome into the Russell H. Rupp Stadium, where your Red Raiders are having their opening day against the Willoughby South Rebels. The Rebels just coming out behind me. The band is all set up, as you can see, right behind me as well. Shaker about to get right out of the tunnel. They are set for another good opening day victory. Once again, they took on Willoughby South last year on the road in Willoughby. And now this time they are set for a home victory against Willoughby South. They are coming out. I'll step aside for just a moment. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. I'll be here for the call all game long.
For tonight's week one matchup between the visiting Rebels of Willoughby South High School and the Raiders of Shaker Heights High School.
welcome. And welcome back into the Russell H. Rupp Stadium. There's a little taste of the ambiance here as the Red Raiders are set for their home opener. Also, just the opening day of their schedule. We got 10 weeks. Here's week 1. The Willoughby South Rebels, all the way, of course, out from Willoughby, just west of Menor, a GCC rival that we'll see later. That's week 7. But Willoughby, a very different type of competition, and that just comes in the rankings. That comes as a team. We're going to be talking about that all through the night. Shaker in there all red here today. The red helmet, the red jersey, red pants, and Willoughby South gray helmet, white jerseys with the soft blue uniforms, and we got the gray pants. It's not a bad uniform matchup if you ask me. And we're just about set. There's a lot of things to talk about. New quarterback, of course. Abdullah Ahmad had the starting job for the last 2 years. Now we got a new guy in the name of Jasir Edie, number 10, nicknamed J10, of course. And then Quinn Malone is another junior who's going to be backing him up here today, except from what we hear from the coach, he's going to get a couple of drives here and there just so we can see how they actually play in the real game, how they compare to each other, and just make sure the coach gets it right with the decision that Edie is going to be your starter. And the Red Raider bench is pumped. They're trying to get the crowd energized already. And it'll start with opening kickoff. 12 minutes up on the scoreboard, symbolizing the start of quarter number 1, 0-0, of course. The start up on the scoreboard. Shaker versus South. Red versus this soft blue and gray. And the kickoff is going to be taken by number 42, Andrew Mullen, the sophomore. Also will occasionally play wide receiver, defensive back, but here, perhaps just a bit more power behind the leg. He is your kickoff guy, and we'll see different kickers also throughout the night. We got a different guy for PATs, field goals. Again, we'll talk about that more as we go along. This one, however, is going to, just stay in bounds, and Shaker will recover down inside the 10. We'll see where they mark that one. Already a good start, and that is a good thing considering Coach yesterday was talking to me about the struggle of their special teams. And the special teams yesterday, the day, of course, before kickoff, that's when they always take on their special teams stuff. It should be Shaker ball. We're awaiting the motion, and now Shaker's pumped, and finally they'll make the motion. Shaker's going to get the ball. Perhaps a Rebel touched it at some point along. But even if that's the case, it's spotted at the 9-yard line. If this holds, 1st and goal for the Raiders, and it looks like that's the case. We have Edie leading out the team, your quarterback. Again, J10, that nickname. And we have McNutt out there. We'll talk about him plenty throughout the season. We'll talk to you about his commitment as well. Cornell Beard in the backfield right behind Edie. One receiver to the near side. We got 3 off to Edie's left side. First and goal for the Red Raiders, and he'll just give this one off to, never mind. It was a fake to his back. They kept it with Edie. He ran it to the left, and you're going to be seeing that a lot all throughout the season. When they announced their captains, they also had a couple of fun questions for the captains so they could post these players and their personalities on social media. Edie's favorite player of all time was Lamar Jackson, and that just fits his play style, considering this man is going to take off whenever he gets his chance. But this time he's going to look to throw. He'll just dump it off to the left side. He's got Cornell Beard wide open. He makes a man miss. He trucks one over, and is he in? We're waiting the motion. We got it. Touchdown. That was quick. 40 seconds off the clock, 11:20 to go. 6-0, Shaker's already on top. How about it? Shaker's always going to take that easy kind of start. Of course, nothing is a given in the game of football, but that right there, I mean, that was kind of a given. We have Lucas White to take the PAT. We've got him on the field goals as well. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is indeed good. 7-0. Well, it was a quick drive. Of course, when you get it at the 9-yard line, it's bound to be a quick drive, especially if you got a competent offense. At the end of the day, you're going to punch it in. You're going to punch it in for 6, and then you'll get that 7. 7-0 is your score. Shaker leads it here at home. Always a nice start. We were supposed to see Shaker's defense. I was going to talk about them a little bit. Now we're still waiting on their first appearance. Didn't really get much time to talk about the offense either. They were only out there for less than a minute. I mean, only 40 seconds off the clock. And the Red Raider bench once again trying to get the student section amped up. This Shaker student section sold out once again. That's typically what you're going to get really at any high school up here in Northeast Ohio. Football, just always that different kind of sport. Of course, you'll have hockey games when Shaker is against US. You'll get that sold out just because that's a big rivalry. But in high school football, different kind of story. You're always sold out when you look at that student section. Now here's Mullen once again to kick us off. This one's taken in at the 10. He'll go to the near side. That was a heavy block around the 20 on number 5. And now eventually Willoughby South will be brought down just along the 30. We'll see where it's marked. 11:13 left to go in quarter number 1. Looks like Mitchell was the man to bring him down, number 4 on the back of his jersey. And now we'll get a moment to talk about this defense. This defense has been looking a little shaky, and I think the players have known that as well. Shaker knows that there are many things to work on. And again, I was talking about special teams earlier on. Granted, Willoughby South seems early on that they got to work on their special teams. Now we'll see if Willoughby can respond. 7-0, Shaker lead. Already a question for the referee. Now we'll blow his whistle. It looks like we're set. And, oh, there was something wrong with that. There's got to be a flag somewhere on that. Someone jumped. But looks like we're not getting a flag. That's surprising to say the least. Looked like 3 people might have been offsides. Maybe a false start if a man in white jumped. But referee didn't see anything. He's not going to call anything. How it goes. And that will get a 0-yard run. We'll keep it there at the 30. It's not exactly between the hash marks. It's more to the near side. Darius Coleman moving forward. Now he'll back up as more receivers are in motion. They'll come to the near side. Here's a handoff to the middle. They'll find a short gap, but again, it's a short gap. And they'll break 1 tackle, try to bolt forward for a couple more. He'll maybe get a 5-yard gain if he's lucky. We'll see. They might keep it at 4. And nope, looks like they'll give him 5. So he's halfway there, 3rd and 5. 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter of action. Clock keeps ticking away after the run. Shaker leads it after their surprising quick drive. Started at the 9-yard line after a special teams mishap by the men in gray and white. Men in motion to the near side. They're just going to hand it off again. They got 5 last time. Let's see if they can get 5 more, and it looks like they will. 2 runs get the job done, or I guess 3. Well, that first run didn't go much of anywhere. Then they'll get some more. We'll see. They'll move the sticks. First down from the 42. Shaker student section still a little bit empty. Of course, you know how high schoolers are. They're going to be late. And that's just how we are. And here's the waiting the snap. And finally, we'll get it to the sophomore. He's looking to throw it. He'll roll out to the far side. It looks like he's going to run for about 7 until he's pushed out of bounds. He'll go right into his own bench. Call that about a gain maybe of 7. We'll see where they mark it. Looks like they're struggling with where to mark it now. Oh, looks like he was pushed out a little bit before. But now we'll get an official timeout. The men in stripes trying to get this one situated. Number 16, Luke Jensen, your quarterback here today. Sometimes he'll be a defensive back, but today he's your quarterback, and that's just because, and I was talking to a Willoughby South supporter before this game. Apparently their quarterback had gotten injured, perhaps during preseason, perhaps during the offseason. You never really know. Those are obviously really, really quite unfortunate, but all we know is that 16 is handling the snaps here today. Luke Jensen, a sophomore. We'll see how the sophomore gets it done. Looks like there was a penalty there, and now we're going to get the yellow laundry on the field. We'll see the call. The official call. Looks like they're going to rule this one offsides. It'll move them up 5. Will they give them the first down? Oh, looks like they will. All right. Shaker leading 7-0. Willoughby trying to respond on their first possession of the game. Of course, they were supposed to have the first possession of the entire ball game, but special teams in high school never seems like it's perfect. And here's a run up the middle. He'll get a solid gain. They're about 7-6 if Shaker gets benefit of the doubt. Of course, Trey McNutt out there in his safety position. He's the guy that we got to highlight all throughout the season. He is committed on August 3rd to play football at the University of Oregon. Apparently his nickname, Trey McDuck. Of course, for that Oregon Duck program, we're looking to make sure he doesn't step off the gas pedal, if you know what I'm saying. He's got to keep this going. Of course, football teams can decommit. We don't expect that to be a case. That is a rare happening. Here's a pitch. Oh, an odd little pitch. And eventually he'll get tripped up just after he crosses the 40. We'll see where they mark him. Looks like maybe the 38. Looks like he's just short of the first down marker. Third down and short. Though you ruled that one a gain of 7. Third, really about 1. Let's see what Shaker's defense can do. They've been struggling on the rush defense, and now they're going to say that Willoughby jumped. That'll hurt him a lot. And that'll always kill your drive. Of course, when you get a big run like that, a 5-yard penalty will scooch him back to a 3rd and 6. I don't know why Willoughby is lined up all the way back there. They're all the way back to the 50. Now they're going to jog back up. Ball spotted at the 43. Yeah, really, if we want to get specific, right between the 43 and the 44. Clock keeps on ticking, even after the false start call. And here's the snap, and once again another handoff. Perhaps they're not really trusting their sophomore quarterback, and he is thrown down. Number 9, the guy on the carry, Jaden Hardy. And Hardy is stopped before getting to the mark. So I'll bring up a 4th down. This is really 4-down territory. I'd be shocked if they did not go for it here. And with the runs that they've been having, why not? 4th down, about 2. Shaker looking for a big stop here. Perhaps they can get a 2-possession lead if they get this stop. Again, we really got to see the offense in action a bit more than we already have. That was a very short-lived drive. And here's the handoff once again up the middle. Shaker saw it coming. They bring him down, but it looks like he just got to the 35. That's past the marker, and we'll move the sticks. First down and 10 for South. Shaker will get a couple changes. Yeah, head coach Alex Nicholson was talking to me about rotationary reps. Of course, you got players out there that you're going to keep out there, and that's players like Trey McNutt that you're obviously going to have out there for a long time. And you're going to have him out there on offense. You're going to have him out there on defense because he is a superstar. He's really the superstar of Shaker. You hear his name just casually mentioned at the at your lunch table, you'll just hear his name come up in conversation, and it's not exactly a surprising thing. Here's a false start called on Willoughby. Once again, push it back. 1st and 15 is going to start their new set of downs. The sun now completely out of view. Lights turned on here at the Russell H. Rupp Stadium, home of Shaker football. Just got these lights last year. Was their first season debuting these lights. Of course, they had to get approval. Oh, that looked like an offsides. Looks like the referee's not going to call it, and that is shocking. And down goes a man behind the sticks, number 0, Kane Balash. Balash, I guess is how you pronounce that last name. The running back blown up quickly. And it looks like they're going to rule this a loss of about 2. 2nd and 17. Ball on the 41-42. And firstly, Jensen wants to hike it, but now he'll get an audible. He'll look over to his coaches, and this time he'll hike it. And he's just going to take off. Defense wasn't ready for it. He spin moves the guy, makes a man miss. That was an impressive move. He'll get down, not up to a first down just yet, but let's just say that's one efficient run if you're trying to get a chunk play. And now it looks like a man is down on the Willoughby South side. Perhaps one of the O linemen, number 58, A.J. Gamir. And we'll step aside as the junior gets attended to. We'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Von Ullum here with the call of the game. Gamir jogged off the field. Hopefully he is all right. Hopefully we'll see him later in the game as well. Shaker up 7-0. Thanks for joining us here at the Russell H. Rupp Stadium, typically nicknamed just the Rupp. And here's the run to the left side. It's with Balash, and looks like he'll get enough for the first down, and he very much should. As he nears the red zone, he's about the 21 is where they're going to mark it. A longer drive, much quicker, or much slower than Shaker's drive, but they had a lot less ground to cover. I mean, they have taken up a lot of time. 4.5 left to go here in the first quarter. Keep in mind, 12-minute quarters. Shaker's touchdown was done at 11:20. Not showing a lot of faith in their quarterback early. Luke Jensen, the starter here today for South. A lot of runs so far. Here's another one, and he'll evade one tackle as the Red Raiders' number 7, Penn, was dragged down trying to make the tackle. Eventually, enough red jerseys are going to be able to swarm him and bring him down. They'll call it a gain of 4. Balash really having some good runs early on. The sophomore running back. A lot of sophomores. Sophomore running back. You got the sophomore quarterback getting the start. Again, they're not showing a lot of faith in him early to sling it at least. We got a pitch. That was just about it. A pitch does not ruled as a throw when you look back at it on the score sheet. So we're not going to give him the credit. 5 seconds on the play clock. They'll run this one, or excuse me, no. He'll roll out to the right side. Good throw that time, but it'll be a short pass. It'll bring it to a 3rd down. 4-yard run, short pass. We'll see where they mark it. 3rd down. Where will they mark it? It looks like it'll be inside the red zone this time. at the 17. Third down. About 3 to 4 yards to go. Obviously manageable. If you're South and you have a fourth down situation, it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. Because you don't want to fall to a 2-possession game. It's already less than 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. The band cheering on their football team. Now it looks like we're going to have whistles blow before the play is snapped. They'll give the football right back to the men in stripes. Looks like we got a timeout by the men of white gray and that soft little baby blue. We'll be right back. 2:51 left to go in quarter number 1. Shaker up 7-2. Again, a quick little touchdown has brought us to where we are now. We'll be right back. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call. So far, not a very pass-heavy offense is this Willoughby South. 2 yards on one single pass. They're really not trusting Jensen to sling it just yet. We'll see how the game progresses. And there's a fumble on the handoff, and now Balash will pick it back up and fall down to the ground.
Handoff is fumbled and recovered by Bayless. Pettis on the stop for the Raiders. They'll give him a loss of 2 on the play.
Pettis was the man to bring him down. 2:25 left to go, quarter number 1. Shaker winning by a touchdown and a PAT. Shaker's offense only out there for mere seconds. We're yet to see him come back out here in the first quarter. They're not going to have a lot of time in the first quarter. Luckily, of course, it'll bleed into the second quarter. This time they're looking for another pass. It's tipped up, and it's incomplete on the 4th down and 5. Shaker is going to get the football back. 7-0. Let's see if they can extend that lead. Good pass coverage. Not sure if that was a drop or what. It looked from here like the throw was on target, maybe a little bit behind him. But regardless, what matters, Shaker's offense set to come back out. Let's see, he'll be the quarterback. It looks like they'll give it right back to Jasir Edie. J10 will lead this offense out. Receivers and his running back talking to him as he makes his way out as well. And moving from left to right is going to be Jaden Holmes, the junior. Now it looks like Shaker's set. Got a man in motion off to the right side, and it's going to go to Cornell Beard. He'll juggle it for a moment, and now he'll go down. He'll go down behind the sticks. Be a loss of a couple of yards, maybe 1 or 2. We'll see where they efficiently place it. Regardless, 2nd down and long. Less than 100 seconds now left to go in quarter number 1. Shaker up 7-0. Looking for more here on this drive. Jasir Edie talking to the coaches. Near side, of course, and now it looks like we're trying to get some communication up to press box. Not exactly our issue. Jasir Edie breaks out of a sack, and he'll make it some positive yards, just not many. Again, this is going to be his play style. It's like that Aiden Diaz from our freshman year. If you're a senior, he did that a lot. That last drive took 9 minutes, 58 seconds, 16 plays. And that brings us to where the clock is now. Less than a minute left to go here in the first quarter. 40 seconds now. You really only need to run one more play, and that can take us to the end of the first frame. Edie looking to pass this one, and he'll find his man. Number 21, Jay Sean Sanders, the senior, getting the first down catch. And there you go. Shakers' pass is already more efficient than Willoughby South. Now clock will continue to run. We'll see if they'll run another play. They don't need to. With the way the clock stands, they can let this one go to quarter number 2. What will Edie and his offense decide? They're going to sling it here, and will he avoid the sack? Oh, he fumbled it. Did the O-line hop onto it? It looks like they did. Just quick enough, we'll see. And yes, looks like that is the case. Big man Andy Benincasa tried to jump on it immediately, and that he did. Shaker got the fumble back. It's going to be a long way to go when we come back. That's the end of quarter number 1. Only one scoring drive to talk about. Only 3 drives to talk about in total. 7-0 your score. Shaker leading South. And these Rebels need to figure it out quickly. We'll be right back as we flip sides of the field. And we're back for the start of quarter number 2. 12 minutes back up on the clock. 7-0 your score. Shaker leading it, looking for more, but they got a long way to go here on a 2nd and long. They're looking at a jet sweep to Trey McNutt. Of course, he's able to make some magic happen. At the 35, he is pushed out of bounds, and that'll mean about a 3rd and 8. With him going out of bounds, clock stops at 11:55 left to go in this first half. On the run in that first quarter, Shaker only a yard in 2 carries. Different story for South. 49 yards on 16 carries. When in the past, let's just say they weren't as efficient. 1 for 2 for 2 whole yards. And that is what really stalled out their drive in the end. Edie looking to throw it. He'll go off to the left side, near side to Cornell Beard. He'll make one man miss. He'll juke one man. He's past midfield. He'll be down around the 45. First down by a lot, as the senior keeps on running. Now last year, that's a talking point. We talk about Caden King no longer in the Shaker backfield. Cornell Beard still there, still the leader of Shaker's running back room. And this time he'll get another pass. He'll make a man miss. And now he'll cut to the inside. Struggles to stay up. And now it's a strength battle between Shaker's line and the South defense. Eventually, South will bring him down. And we got another first down for Shaker's offense. They have now found their rhythm. They're moving it quickly. 11:20 left to go in the second quarter. That's a lot of time to get something done. Maybe, of course, they can get a 2-possession lead right here. Maybe they can move it up to 3 or 4 before this one's done by halftime. Man in motion. Edie fakes the give to McNutt. Now he's going to sling it to the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown, Shaker Heights. On the catch, Lyndon Chavis. And Chavis with 6 more up onto the board. 13-0 your score. Chavis, a great catch, had to leap up for it. Didn't exactly hit him in stride, but if it's a touchdown, it's a touchdown, and you're not really going to argue it. Lucas White in to make it a 14-point game. Chavis, good catch. Number 84. Wide receiver, defensive back duo. This one is up. This one is good. And 14-0 is your Shaker Heights lead here at home. Passing on that drive. 4-4-5 for 77 yards. And that came from a lot of dump-off passes to Beard over to the near side. And Beard, we know he can run it. He can run it for a long distance. He had some great runs last year as well, especially right here at home. We're not expecting that to change. Now Shaker's special teams back out there. .56 left to go in half number one. 14-0 the score. Shaker, you never know, maybe they could get it right back as they did the first time. They've had 2 possessions. They've had 2 touchdowns. 14-0. I mean, Willoughby South, they had a much longer drive. The difference is that they had a much longer drive that resulted in nothing. Shaker's had 2 very short drives. They result in points. If you're a coach, don't think there's a question of who you'd rather be at this point. Max Preps had the rankings between these 2 teams very far apart. They had Shaker 131 in the state, and they had Willoughby South all the way back at 407. Shaker's supposed to win this game. They just got to make sure they actually get the job done. This one's taken in past the 10, maybe around more the 15. He'll make one man miss. He'll get past the 30, maybe a bit past the 35. But if so, not by much. 10:50 to go in the second. And Shaker's defense returns. They got the job done last time on the 4th down and short. They're looking to do the same here. Your near side defensive back going to be Brian Mitchell. These are the seniors you're going to see a lot more. You got Miles Shelton out here acting as a safety. He's further back. Trey McNutt, of course, is going to be out there. Not seeing him currently, though. And let's see what we got here. It'll be another run. Of course, the quarterback has not been airing it out much just yet. Perhaps coach wants to build a little bit of trust with him before anything really gets going. That run will be kept short. Well, call it a 5-yard gain. Maybe a little less than 5. Regardless, they're going to roll this one officially second down with 5 to go. 10:15 left to go here in the second quarter in the first half. Shaker up by 2 touchdowns, 2 PATs. And here's the snap. This time they're going to trust him to go to the air, and he's got his man. Oh, right through the hands of number 22, Marquez Lashley. He had him wide open. He beat his defensive back by a landslide. But nope. Let's just say the defensive back got lucky on that one. He would have had some explaining to do. He got cooked early on that play. And that throw was right on the money. That was a perfect pass from the quarterback, Jensen. Nothing better he could have done. Hit him perfectly in stride. Just went right through the hands of his receiver. 10:02 to go in the second. Low snap, he'll recover, and this time it looks like he's going to run it off to the left side. He's got a Red Raider, though, that's going to shove it out of bounds. That time it was Rayon Johnson, the junior, playing linebacker here today. Now under 10 minutes to go in the half. Shaker student section today, a red out. and they're doing pretty well with it. They've had better days, but nothing too bad. Again, we're high schoolers. We'll make mistakes. Shaker celebrated all of their fall athletics with a pep rally earlier today. Here's a run up the middle, and he will he get there? Looks like they will mark him up. On the fourth down and very short. Of course, odds were with him. He was able to force his way through. First down and 10 for the Rebels. Still looking for their first score of the game. They've had one possession. Failed to do it then. Gave Shaker 2 opportunities so far. They have cashed in on both opportunities. Shaker's defense looks to the near side bench. Looking for a word of advice, perhaps. They got all their receivers out wide. We're not looking for a run. And this time, Benincasa breaks free. Looking to bring him down. He'll evade one tackle. Now he'll go for a couple more yards. Tiptoeing along the sideline. It'll still be a short gain, but a gain it is. He was close to a sack as Benincasa almost got to him. Of course, a bigger man. Speed not exactly his best factor. Not everyone can be Myles Garrett. Just short of the midfield stripe between the 49 and the 50. Second down, they're going to rule it. 7 to go. Clock keeps on ticking, less than 9 to go in this second quarter. This time they got man in the backfield. Maybe they're going to run it once again, and this time they will to the near side, and he was taken down quick. Or at least it looked like a bit of a horse collar or something. He was first tugged on very awkwardly, but these referees, they actually haven't called a lot of things that we can see from up here. They haven't called some offsides that we would have thought, and maybe add this one to the list. We'll see where they mark this one. It'll be a third down. We'll get the bell noise here in the stadium to symbolize that third down. Looks like it'll just be right down the middle, 3rd and 5. Ball at the 48 after crossing midfield. We'll see what Jensen will do this time, or really what his coaches allow him to do this time. Because his passes have really been on the money. It's just his receivers struggling to get the job done. This time he'll cut outside of the O-line. He'll fall down to the turf eventually as he's tugged by the cleat. He is down to a 4th down, either about 2 or 3. They give Trey McNutt credit on the bring down. Again, that Oregon Duck commit. He had of course, that commitment ceremony just in the large auditorium. He had choices like Florida. He had USC, Ohio State, of course. That was a favorite, of course. Here at Shaker, people were hoping he would go to Ohio State. Not the case. He chose Oregon, and Oregon has been on the up and up. What's one more 5-star recruit? Blown up in the backfield. Right off the give, Shaker is going to get the stop behind the line. And that was number 5, Rayon Johnson, the linebacker, blowing up that play before it really ever began. And 6:44 left to go in the second quarter. Let's add another touchdown. Why not? Got a man down on the Red Raiders side. We'll await confirmation as they tend to him. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Thank you very much for joining. Isaac Smith was the man down for a minute. He was helped off. Number 52, not the guy you'll want to see go down this early in the season. Of course, this is really as early as you can get when week 1. And now just about this stadium is packed. You got people walking all along the track around the field. You got a lot going on. Quinn Malone on the handoff. He's now your quarterback for the drive. And again, this is what head coach Alex Nicholson told us would happen. Second quarterback of the game, Quinn Malone. We got number 10, we got number 12. It's a battle between the two of them. The two juniors fighting for that position for this year and next. Quinn Malone fakes the snap. Now he'll look over to the near side. He'll get his play call. Got Cornell Beard to his left. Got a lot of receivers this time, however. He'll just give this one off to Cornell Beard. He'll get a solid gain, maybe of about 5. We'll see where they officially mark it. 14-0 your score. Shaker looking to make it 21, because why not? Let's start us off early. Same kind of thing we saw last year. Shaker beat Willoughby South. The difference was it was on the road. This time, they're at home. The schedule, really the same as last year. The only difference is one opponent. We're getting Benedictine coming into the schedule. We're getting Maple Heights gone, that former Lake Erie League opponent. And this time it looks like we're going to have a flag. This time 84 breaks off past the 30, but this one very well might be coming back. Good pass by Quinn Maloney, hooked up with number 84 Chavis, but it looks like we're going to get a holding. We'll go all the way back. 5:20 left to go, quarter number 2, and we'll get a lovely halftime show presented by your Shaker Heights band, the Raiderettes, the new flag corps coming in. We can talk about that a little bit more. Of course, afterward, we can talk about it. Not really going to be critiquing them, but tell you about how they did. Tell you about some of the songs they performed, but you can probably hear it for yourselves as I'll be disconnected from the live stream. And you can enjoy some music. Again, 5:20 left to go in the second quarter. Quinn Malone is your quarterback now, and it's 3rd and long. More than likely going to go to the air, and indeed he will. The lefty slings this one deep. Let's see. No one is near. Maybe he was looking to give it to Trey McNutt, and I mean, if you have to throw it up if you got to throw it up in prayer, Trey McNutt is the guy to throw it to. So you can't exactly blame him for hoping. He just overshot. He overshot everyone. He overshot the receivers, the backs. And now here we are at a 4th down, and we'll get our first look at a punt team here today. We haven't seen a punt team by either side. And here it'll go to Lucas White, the junior. Let's see what he can do. Now we'll get the whistle blow. 5:14 to go in the second quarter. Willoughby South's receiver is all the way back between the 20 and 25. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout called by Shaker. Just need to get a couple things situated in special teams. Again, that's not their strength, this special team stuff. They had 2 blocked punts yesterday. I was just talking to head coach Alex Nicholson, and he said, hang on, I got to go and fix this. And fix it he did. One more rep was needed. He fixed that blocked punt. So at least we know they got a competent head coach. Of course, he's into his 6th year now. And we know he can build up this team if he has the right players. Last year, he did have the right players. He finished the regular season 7-3 with, however, he had that shootout loss against Barberton. 48-41 was the final. That was an odd game, if you can remember that one. Nobody knows what was going on right before halftime. I don't think the referees even knew what they were doing right before halftime. But no matter the case, that's in the past. Here's the punt. We'll get the snap to Lucas White. It's low. It's fumbled at first. Now he'll get it away, and oh, good Lord. And it's taken in by a Shaker man. Once again, special teams has not been the strong suit. 5:05 to go in the second quarter, It'll be a punt of -1 yard. Typically, you want a punt of about, at high school, about 30 maybe. But -1, not where you want to be. Of course, you're getting those first game jitters, special teams. And when you're Lucas White, and you know you're the guy they're looking to punt, you know eyes are on you. You know there's pressure on you. And that time, maybe it just got to him. 5:05 to go in quarter number 2. Now let's see if Shaker's defense can hold them off once more. 14-0 the score. Shaker leading here at home. The sun going down. There, another good pass, and it's tipped it into the hands of number 22, Kevin Lowry. The junior with the pick. And immediately, the defense will get the job done once again. Turn over that ball to the men of red and white. Roll that one as a 7-second drive. That went right into the hands of Lowry. There you go. First turnover of the season for Shaker. Why not give it to Kevin? Just tipped right into his hands. He also threw it into double coverage. I mean, his throws, they have been on target, but maybe decision-making has not been the best for this quarterback, Luke Jensen. Less than 5 minutes, Shaker, we know what they can do. They've had these quick drives. What's one more to take us to halftime? We'll see if they're even going to be able to slow it down to even take a 5-minute drive and bring us to halftime. They might give South another chance. However, we'll see what goes on. As a high snap, Edie is just going to take it himself. Good running so far. He'll end up getting it for about a 3-yard gain, but we got a flag down on the field anyway. 4:51 to go in the second. And it looks like they're going to rule this one a holding on Shaker. Can't exactly blame them either for trying to hold, considering that snap was not where it was supposed to be. Snap was off the money, really threw up the play from the beginning. Again, we got 4:51 to go in quarter number 2, half number 1. And here's the give to his back, and it's blown up right as he makes his way into the O-line. That holding might have killed this drive before it really got started. Well, they'll call it a gain of a yard. Give us a little bit of credit. Roll it 2nd and 19. Again, Shaker up by 2 touchdowns, looking for more before they go into halftime. Edie going to take it himself this time once again. He'll be down at the 30. And it'll still be a 3rd down and long, but not as long. 3rd down and 11, perhaps? Maybe 12. And this time you got to sling it. Let's see what Edie's got. Again, another high snap, and he will throw to the far side. Trying to evade one tackle right after the catch was Coleman, but he was brought down pretty quick, and that'll bring us to a 4th down. Will they bring out the punting team? Indeed, they will. As they will try it again with Lucas White. He so far has an average of -1 yard a punt. Hopefully he can get that figured out. Again, call those first punt jitters. Hopefully he's got no second punt jitters. I guess we're about to find out, though. 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Here's the long snap to White. He'll send this one up. Much better punt. We'll get a couple cheers. And oh my goodness, Shaker will cover it up. There we'll get a flag. Bit of a late flag. Not sure why he didn't throw that up quicker. But it looks like they're going to call that receiver's interference. As it should be. He ran right into him. That's how it goes. So that'll move him up a little bit more. .246 left to go, quarter number 2. .14-0 your score. Can Willoughby South make it a one-possession game going into halftime? About to find out. Jensen back out there, quarterback for South. Referee's still talking things over. Not exactly sure what the matter of conversation is. But the ball is currently spotted at the 48 of the south side of the field.
I'd like to give a shout out to the Shaker Boosters. And also, please remember,
just 2 yards away from the midfield stripe.
headed up this year by Shaker Sports Boosters. The concession stand is exactly
Still awaiting some sort of signal. Now head coach Alex Nicholson. Hands held behind his back, looking respectful as he talks to that coach, or excuse me, that referee. Feels like this half has gone by quickly. Of course, that first quarter went by really quickly. Kickoff was set for 7 o'clock. We're at 7:52 right now. And now Luke Jensen with nobody in the backfield with him. He'll hike it, and he'll have a quick pass off to the left side. Another good quick throw. And that receiver's going to fight for some more yardage before being brought down, maybe about 5 yards. Stays in bounds, keeps the clock on ticking. Not exactly a bad move, as they probably want to take this one to halftime. Second completed pass so far for Willoughby South. And again, I mean, Jensen has been throwing it on the money. His receivers just have really been struggling. That one interception tipped out of the hands of his receiver. And right here, 3 guys swarm him. The man to bring him down, number 23, Isaac Fidel. And that was a huge sack. No one was with these 3 Raiders, not chasing him down, trying to get to the quarterback. No, those Red Raiders swarmed him, and they brought him down. This poor quarterback. I mean, heck, that's the game, isn't it? Football isn't fun to you. Oh, oof. They will rule this one a 3rd down and with 18 yards to go. That's what we call, ladies and gentlemen, a 3rd and long. Less than 2 minutes to go. Of course, here in high school, we don't get a 2-minute warning. We don't need a warning. We know what we got ourselves into. 14-0, your score. Shaker leading here at home. Again, we're going to have a halftime show with the Shaker band. We're going to have the South band, I'm sure, as well. It should firstly be the Willoughby South band, and then Shaker will come out with the Raiderettes with, again, that newly introduced flag corps. We're wishing all of them the best of luck. 1:57 to go in quarter number 2. Shaker's defense out there for a 3rd and 18 for Willoughby South's offense. Rolling out of the pocket. Good quick throw. Trey McNutt wraps him up before the football could really be received in succession. And there you go. There's McNutt, the safety. That's why he's a 5-star, right? Got to him immediately when he knew that pass was out of the hands.
broken up by number 8, Trey McNutt.
Only 5 seconds off the clock there. Shaker with plenty of time if they want to get an offensive drive going, as this looks like it will indeed be a punt for Willoughby South. And let's just say that would be the smart move. We got a timeout, maybe an official timeout, just trying to clear some things up. Shaker making a late substitution. It'll be Staten going out with Black going in. So a couple minutes ago, we were talking about how South could maybe make it a 1-possession game before halftime. Now Shaker with the opportunity to make it a 3-possession game before halftime. They're fumbled behind the 30, but eventually he'll scoop it back up, but immediately be taken down. 103 seconds left to go. And let's see what this offense can cook up here in the final dying moments. If anything, you want to escape out of here with a field goal. Field goal will once again make it a 3-possession game. It won't be as strong a 3-possession game, obviously, as another touchdown. But Shaker will take a 3-possession game going into halftime. Edie back out there leading the offense. High snap once again. He'll drop this one off to McNutt, and let's see what he can do. Tried to evade one tackle by backing up quickly. But the pass will still be kept short. It'll be maybe a gain of about 4. Yeah, that's about right. 2nd and 6 coming up. Clock will keep on running. They got to hurry this one up. They have 2 timeouts on their side. Another high snap. They got to figure that out. Edie just going to try and run out of the pocket. Will he try to make a late pass? He will. He had 84 down the field in the form of Chavis. And Chavis already had a touchdown. What's one more? But that time the pass just not exactly near him. Pressure too much for Jasir Edie. Again, you want to get out of here with at least a field goal to make it a 3-possession game. But at this point on a 3rd and 6, maybe Willoughby South can hold them here. Let's see what they got. 1:11 left to go in the second quarter in the first half. Edie, that time that was a good snap. And he's under pressure, tries to evade the sack. He's not going to be able to, taken down right behind the 20-yard line. And out comes the punting unit once again. I believe that's the 3rd straight punt for Shaker after 2 touchdowns to start off their offensive production. So now South is going to take the timeout. That'll be their last of the half. They'll have 0 timeouts and 58 seconds to try and go the length of the field. Of course, we'll see how this punt goes. First time, it wasn't the prettiest punt we've ever seen. It was a -1-yard punt. And then he had a much more successful punt, more about 30, 20 in that range. That's more what you want to see for what they call the field flipper. Lucas White will be back out to take the punt. Currently, we got the timeout going on. Shaker talking things over. Willoughby South talking with their special teams as well. Again, please do stick with us at halftime. It's going to be the band performing out here on this lovely Rupp turf. Right before them, it'll be Willoughby South. It's always fun to see the opposing band, see what they can do, see what they will do. They always have an interesting music lineup from the opposing school, something you'll never see. That time, another decent punt. This one will roll its way to the near side and eventually be touched up at the opposite side of the midfield stripe. 48-yard line will be the spot. 24 was the distance on the punt. .55 seconds to go for this South Rebels offense. Let's see what they can do. They, once again, we said this a couple moments ago, they had the opportunity to make it a one-possession game. Neither team scores. We'll be saying this all throughout the game. They've got a chance. That time, another good throw. This quarterback has honestly done well with the ball. It's just those receivers that have really put him under a bad stat line. Call it a gain of 7. 2nd and 3. Clock did stop after the receiver went out of bounds to the near sideline. No one in the backfield. They're not even going to mess around with the run. Jensen looking to go deep. And that's over the head of both the defensive back and the intended target. Coleman had it wrapped up. Lashley was the man. That was that target. But nothing doing. 44 seconds to go. Heck, if they want to make it a 3rd down right here and they don't get it, Shaker still has a couple timeouts. This one right here, Willoughby South's 5th possession of the half. See what they can do with it. They're still held scoreless by the Shaker defense. And here, number 7 breaks loose. Now Shaker looking for the sack, and they'll drop him. Is that a face mask? I'm on a 3rd down, especially that time. Would have brought up a 4th down, maybe could have taken us to halftime. No longer. And look at that leisurely stroll up to that 15. And ball spotted at the 33. The sticks are still moving. They don't even have them set up yet. Jensen runs to the left side, and now, ooh! Looked like a bit of a late shove. They're not going to call it, though. 27 seconds to go here in the first half of action. Should be 2nd down. And now we'll get the whistle blowing. The stick over there says 3rd down, should be 2nd. And now they'll fix it. 27 seconds left to go. And now that time looks like I'm not even sure what happened there. Looks like they're going to roll this one an encroachment now. Shaker just thought they got a bit of a recovery. Shaker's coach furious. Nicholson showing it. That would technically call for a couple more seconds up on the clock. We'll see if they actually do that. And an encroachment will be a cost of 5 yards. Shaker's defense hurting themselves right now. No way of getting around it. And here they're looking to go to the air, looking for touchdown. It's tipped up, and it'll go out the back of the end zone. McNutt was over that one as he tipped that one away with 21 seconds left to go. 3rd down, and it'll be 3 yards to go. Ball at the 25. I assume they'd go for it here if they don't get it. I mean, you never know the leg of their kicker, but at this point in time, you're going to want to get that touchdown anyway before you go into halftime. 21 seconds to go, 3rd and 3. They're sending in the pressure immediately. And once again, these receivers for this poor quarterback threw it right at him.
4th down efficiency.
So Willoughby South, who so far is 2 for 4, 50% success rate on the fourth down. And honestly, Jensen's doing just fine at quarterback. I mean, these receivers got to feel bad for him. Here, Jensen takes the snap, and he'll throw a short little pass over to the left side. That'll be a first down with 10 to go. 12 seconds left to go. You got to get a touchdown quick. You might be looking to the end zone now because you don't got a lot of time. You got 4 opportunities to get it done. Now, ball spotted at the 18, they're calling it. This might be the time where you just got to go for it. You don't have any timeouts. You got to get out of bounds. You got to get to the end zone. Let's see what South is able to do. Jensen with the snap. Shuffling his feet. Now he'll step up and he's going to run it. That was the last thing you wanted to do. If you're Jensen, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, they're looking to spike it. Looks like they will not get it off. That's halftime. So quickly, as we approach halftime, Shaker has done their job. 14-0 is your score. Willoughby South has a lot of things that they've got to fix. Of course, it's the week 1. You're going to have issues. Of course, Shaker has had issues on special teams, but Willoughby South has really had the costly mistakes. They had an interception. They had that special teams monstrosity in the first play of the game, and we can talk about that more as we go. Luke Jensen, the sophomore quarterback, everyone was wondering how he could do for Willoughby South. And honestly, he might have that interception. It's not his fault. He might have a bad completion percentage. Really not his fault. He had a guy deep in stride down the field earlier. Should have been a touchdown, but it went right through the receiver's hands, and that has been a recurring theme for these South receivers. We'll see how it goes into the second half. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullama. I will be back after the halftime show as we continue the call of the game. Thank you.
I'll do stats for you. You want to write stuff on a sheet and have it to talk to you. Write stuff on a sheet so that you can hear your questions. I can hear it. I gotta leave this here to I gotta leave this here to Yeah. I'll go then. Come on, sir. Here's nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to present the pride of South High, the 2024 Willoughby South High School Marching Band, under the direction of drum makers Alana Estvander and Gianni Zhu. This evening, we are pleased to present the first 2 movements of our 2024 competition show entitled When Stars Align.
Hey, Heath, you mind just keeping an eye on our stuff? I can use the restroom. Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the pride of Shaker Heights, the 2024 Royal Entry Band, under the senior leadership of future leaders Brian Harney, Taylor Hudson, Emma Perkins, and Zoe Stiefel. This year's halftime show features the music of AC/DC. Kicking off the halftime show, the Raider Band salutes you with For Those About to Rock, followed by Back in Black. As they dance to a signature hit from the band's 1980 album, Back in Black, here is You Shook Me All Night Long. Album, Razor's Edge, released as a lead single from that album. Here is Thunderstruck. Stump your cheek. Assisted by Bill Hughes, Victoria Scott, Joe Gronkowski, Kendall Green, J.C. Shorter, and Rachel Cross. Ring advisor Sally Douglas, Frank Court, Paige Campbell, Professional advisor Drew Parent.
How are you, sir? You're looking good.
Hello once again, Shaker Heights varsity football fans. We're at halftime. Shaker versus South. Shaker currently leading 14-0. They had a quick touchdown in the first 40 seconds of the football game against the Rebels. Then they scored on in their second drive against the Rebels. After that, nothing but punts. And it really was not looking good for this offense. They have not scored since those first two possessions. That's why we are left at the 14-0 score. Shaker's going to receive the first kickoff, however. They kicked it off to Willoughby South at the very start. Doesn't really feel like it, though, because Shaker was the first team with the offensive possession. Big special teams mishap for the Rebels. However, Shaker is doing just fine on defense. Of course, they held the team to 0 points. They had a turnover off of an interception. The receivers for Willoughby South have really been struggling. The quarterback's doing just fine. His receivers are really the ones messing him up. Anyway, teams are getting set up right behind me. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Von Ullum, here with the call from the Russell H. Rupp Stadium. I'll be here for all of the second half.
Just gonna do stats as he goes. What was the other turnover? Was that the interception? The punt on the kickoff.
Shaker looking for some different success compared to how Willoughby South started off their half with the football. Of course, they fumbled it right away. That's 1.5 of the 2 turnovers they had in the first half. They had the other one off that tipped interception. And their quarterback, Luke Jensen, he's been throwing the football just fine. The receivers have just been tipping it every which way. There was a long ball in which Luke Jensen hit his receiver in stride, went right through the hands. And I'm sure his team was hoping he got a good talking to in the locker room. Here, Cornell Beard, the man to take it off the kickoff, and he'll be stopped short of the 30, maybe about in the middle. We'll see where they officially mark it. Now it looks like there's a South player down on the field. What a way to start the second half for that guy. And now it looks like we're going to get an injury timeout right off the bat. 11:54 left to go in this third quarter. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us here at the Rupp. Number 9 was the man down for South. That's Jaden Hardy, the running back. Didn't get as many touches as the sophomore number 0, Kane Balash. He got many, many touches throughout that first half. However, the run really hasn't worked too much for each team. For Shaker's offense, they've have 8 rushes, 1 yard, but keep in mind that includes the negative 11-yard sack. And here's another run. They'll give it to Cornell Beard. He'll run his way through. That'll help their averages a little bit, as he'll get a run of about 5 and call it a second down. Oh, looks like they're going to give him a lot more than 5. They're going to give him, where are they going to roll this? 7. And wow, another Rebel is down. Another injury timeout. We'll take a break. And South, at this point, they have a 100% success rate for having a man down here in the second half on each play. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us. 22 seconds off the clock here in the third quarter. So 2 plays, 2 injured players. The first guy jogged off no problem. This second play of the half, Willoughby South man is down, and he's been down for a few minutes. We're just going to update you when he gets up, but he has been down. He hasn't really moved much either. We'll be right back once he gets up. His leg is moving, so that's always a positive sign. We'll be right back. Thank you very much for joining us. Play is halted for a moment. And 11:38 left to go here in the third quarter. We're gonna get the good old cart coming out. That's never exactly a good sign for the player. We'll get the name out there once we get the number. He's been huddled around by a lot of these trainers and athletic department members, and now they're going to help hoist him up. So now he is up on his feet, but he'll be moved to that cart and sent away from the field of play. They had to clear out the Red Raiders from the field to make sure that cart could get on safely and effectively. Again, 2 plays, 2 injured Rebels. And now he's walking off. Can you believe this? They bring out the cart and he walks off. That's on some soccer stuff. Don't see that much in football. If they are down for that long, they are typically down and out. It was 58, A.J. Gamir. We've called his name a couple times throughout the ball game. I think he was actually down earlier. And here's the next play. 2nd down and 3. They will give it off to Cornell Beard and fake the throw. He'll get past the 45. 1st down and 10 for Shaker Heights. Move those chains. And now the clock will keep ticking. We have not had a lot of that so far in the half, but now we're back to it. Is there an injured player? There is not. We've got the run right up the middle once again. Call it another 1st down. Couple of good runs by number 15, the senior Cornell Beard. Clock keeps on ticking, because why not? Jasir Edie, high snap. That's been a struggle so far. Cornell Beard barrels over one man. Well, now he'll be taken down with a limited gain. 2nd down. Still pretty good length to go. I'll call it a 3-yard pickup. 7 to go. $10:30 to go in quarter number 3. 14-0 is your score. Shaker Heights leading it here at home. Next week they're on the road at Brush. Only 4 away games for Shaker. Here's Edie shuffling to the left side. And to the far side, he is taken down after once again another limited gain. And we'll be calling this one a 3rd down after that. 10:08 to go. Clock continues to roll. Third down. Oh, it looks like they're not going to give him any gain. 3rd and 7. Looks like it was held up at the line. And this time we're going to look for a pass. Edie's looking to go deep. He's got a man wide open. It's Chavis. He catches it. He'll run past the goal line. Touchdown, Shaker. Second receiving touchdown for Chavis. He's having himself a day. Number 84. 2 receiving touchdowns, and he had nothing but separation from the 2 defensive backs in front of him. So Lyndon Chavis, the junior wide receiver DB duo, now amping up the crowd in front. The student section getting amped up with him. I mean, a 2-touchdown game is never something to frown about. Their kick is up, the kick is good, and we call that the PAT being all right. 21-0 is your score. Shaker leading, and this is what we were told to expect. Luckily, it's going the right way.
Many thanks to the following sponsors of the 2024 Shaker Heights football program: Irie Jamaican Kitchen, Butnick Law Firm, and Regal Games. Live Irie, eat Irie.
Shaker getting set for the kickoff. We are just about black sky now. That last time of possession, 2 minutes, 21 seconds. And those couple of injuries allowed for more of the sun to go down. Of course, sunset, beautiful thing. The difference between this stadium and a lot of others, like if you look at Cleveland Heights, it's not as much of a scenic view. Right here, you got the trees, you got the baseball field out there. And just recently we added in the night games. It's a whole lovely setting now that they have these lights out, and the sunsets have been beautiful. And now, once it's fully dark out, it's a whole different kind of energy that the student section brings, that the football team brings. But right now, Shaker is bringing that winning vibe to a 21-0 game. 9:39 left to go in quarter number 3. Mullen to kick this one off. That is a beauty of a kickoff. From here at this high school level, that's exactly what you want to see. The return man is number 8, and eventually he'll be taken down before he gets to the 20. Beautiful stuff by the special teams is what you want to see. Christian Santone, the sophomore, on the return. Couldn't go much of anywhere, and we'll see where they mark this one down. Shaker's cheerleaders just made their arm-in-arm walk around the track with the Willoughby South cheerleaders. And now it looks like they'll be playing some games behind the Shaker Heights Red Raider bench, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. The skirts of blue and the skirts of red. .9:32 left to go. Quarter number 3, 21-0 your score. Shaker, hopefully not going to stop there. Taken down to the turf around the 20 was the back, and clock will continue to roll. That was a very, very short gain. Call it 2 yards on the pick. They're generous. We're going to call it 3. 2nd and 7. Shaker's defense looking over to their bench, making sure the coach is all good with whatever coverage they're about to run. Jensen with the low snap. He'll recover, and now he's quickly under pressure. He's just going to flip this one out. After scrambling out of the pocket, he'll send it into the Red Raider bench, and that'll bring us to a 3rd down and 7. Can Shaker hold South scoreless yet again? We're about to find out. 3rd down, 7 to go. And here, snap a bit to the right of their man, trying to get the sack. Jensen jukes 2 guys. Will he get to the 1st down marker? He will not. He will slide in the name of safety, and that will bring us to a 4th down. Can't blame him for being safe. Of course, if you're the quarterback, you're the face of the team, you got to go down. If your coach asks you to go down, you got to do it. And there he does it to avoid a hefty hit, because that's the thing. In football, no one really takes it easy on you. They're going to hit you because it's football. There's a punt, way up high, maybe a touch of the sky. And this one will be caught by a man in the Red Raider bench, bringing us, we'll see where. We'll see where they mark this one as the football sails out of bounds. Should be more around midfield, I would think. Maybe even in front of midfield, but they're going to back this one up. 46 on Shaker's side of the field. Just a bit more yardage to go. We got Edie back out there leading the offense, the junior. With the ball in his hands once more, he'll just give this one off to the man in motion from near side to far side. He is thrown down a bit late on the play, but they're going to let this one slide. It went to number 1, Brian Fleshman, sophomore, getting a touch. Just not exactly a productive touch. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 coming up. Receiver Edie centering himself between the O-line. Cornell Beard is off to his left side, 2 receivers on each side, wide of the O-line. This throw right on the money. But it won't be there for the first down, but that's what you call a decent yardage play. I mean, that'll get them moving forward. Once again, after the loss of 1, you want to move forward and not backward, especially with the amount of penalties that have been taken by Shaker in that first half. They had 5 for 50 yards. The difference, Willoughby South had 3 for 15 yards. That's a big difference when you look at the penalty yardage. However, Shaker, the ones that are up on the scoreboard, so you're not going to gripe on them too heavy. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Jasir Edie and Cornell Beard both look towards the Shaker sideline. And now Edie's going to go to the air again on a 3rd and 4. He evades the sack. Will he try and take it himself? He will, and he'll get the first down and more. Past the 40, he's out of bounds as he makes his way onto the track and eventually circles back around to the turf. 7:13 left to go in quarter number 3. Another first down for your Red Raiders. That's what you want to see from Edie. That's the kind of plays he wants to make, and now he's showing he can make these kinds of plays. Again, favorite player, Lamar Jackson. That is his inspiration as he moves into the season as the leading quarterback of Shaker Heights. Again, 21-0. The Raiders are leading it. The officials, I believe, are sorting something out. Willoughby's head coach also talking to the referees. Now we'll get the whistle. Play clock winds down, and Edie throws this one off to, I believe that was Sanders, and it's knocked out before they rule it a catch. That was our first incompletion of the half for Shaker. Of course, Shaker's been the only team with the football so far, and they've already taken almost 5 minutes off the clock. Excuse me, here comes Edie. Pass to the near side. Will that be enough for the first down? It should be. Dump off pass to the right side for number 81, Brian Fleshman. He's the guy that had that -1 run. moments ago, but that time he'll do some good with it. Moving this one very much forward. And now here's another dump-off pass. Oh, Lord. We're looking for a dump-off pass over to the right side, that time for Holmes, the junior receiver. And, well, maybe they weren't on the same page, or maybe it was just a faulty catch attempt. Regardless, fell down to the turf, and we have a 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Here's the run. Cornell Beard barreling his way up the middle, but eventually he'll get taken down after a shorter gain. Clock will tick down. 6:30 to go in quarter number 3. Shaker in their 2nd possession of the half. And so far, they're starting it like they started the last half. Back-to-back touchdowns. Let's see if they can finish it off with back-to-back touchdowns to start off this 2nd half. 21-0 is your score. 6 minutes left to go as the clock continues to tick, tick, tick. Edie under pressure immediately. He'll evade the sack. He's still looking for a man to throw it to. Eventually he will, and that was a bit dangerous as the defensive back was right by that football. Luckily, it'll go awry, hit the turf. We got a 3rd down, don't we? Scoreboard says 4th. That should be, yes, that should be a 4th down. We're waiting for the sticks to say any different. Regardless, 4th down territory. The stick still says 3rd down. And here comes the 4th down attempt. Edie looking to pass it, and it's, whoa! No one was near. Right into the hands of a Rebel. Interception to Willoughby South. Holy. That was a mess of a throw. Wow, that was a bad look. I don't think there was much of a way of getting around it. 17, Jack McGinnis, the junior on the pick for the men of gray and soft baby blue. She asked me this morning, are you still gonna do this? And I'm just like, how could I not? So after Edie's pass goes awry, we are back to the Willoughby South offense, looking for some sort of comeback. Barrel up the O-line is not going to result in much, maybe about 2 yards. 2nd and 8, I believe, is what they are going to call this one, and indeed it is. 5.5 left to go, quarter number 3. 21-0 is your Shaker Heights lead here at home. Last year they started off on the road in Willoughby. Now Willoughby is over here. And Shaker's looking for the same outcome. Right now it's looking pretty good. Here's a run. Once again, he breaks a tackle. And Balash is off to the races. Eventually he'll be caught up after passing midfield and the 40. Taken down really around the 30. A huge run for Balash. The sophomore back getting it done. And now they are threatening. With less than 5 minutes to go. Less than 5 minutes to go. This time a dump-off pass near side. And immediately Brian Mitchell's going to wrap up the receiver, number 1, Mason Matriano. Senior against senior there. Or excuse me. Yes, that is right. And here's a low snap. He's going to give it to Balash once again. After one big run, They won't give it to him once again. Number 22 for Shaker is right on top. Kevin Lowry, the man with the pick earlier, brings him down.
First, it'll be 3rd and 6.
4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Shaker with a 21-point lead. That snap right on the money. And they're looking for a run up the middle. And Sean Aikens is going to say no thank you. The senior bringing him down just immediately as he made his way to the line. And we'll see what they do here. It's a 4th down. About 5, 6, 5.5 maybe. Want to get real specific with it. See what they do here. No man in the backfield. Are they trusting the quarterback? Or will they run it maybe? Oh my goodness. That almost looked like an offsides. We'll get a flag now. Jensen was ready to book it to the near side, and now it looks like they're going to rule this one an offsides. Head coach Nicholson frustrated. I'm not having it. Approaching the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. 4th down and 1. This time we're going to get another flag. It's another offsides on Shaker. Nicholson is aggravated, and you can see it in his gestures. Over on the near sideline. Can you blame him? Nope. 1st down and 10. Now they just gifted them. It was a 4th and 6, and now it's a 1st and 10 after back-to-back offsides calls. That is what you call the defense hurting themselves. Yikes. And they have let him ride right into the red zone. 19-yard line is where the ball is spotted. Again, Shaker with a hefty lead, but there's no such time like a comeback. And here, Jensen wrapped up quickly. He's taken down by number 24, Pettis, and he had some help with him as well. Pettis had some help with him as well. There were about 3 Red Raiders who were just barreling across that O-line and doing so effectively. They got to that quarterback quickly. Jensen has had a really tough time back there with his receivers, with his O-line. I mean, poor guy. And here's a run to Balash, and he struggles with Atkins. Now he's taken down. Brian Mitchell with a big hit before he can really get back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe just about does get back to the line of scrimmage. Regardless, not a gain on the play. Oh, they're going to call it a loss. 3rd and 17 is what they're, 3rd and 18 is what they're ruling this one. Ball now at the 26, 21-0. Shaker leads it. 1:30 left to go in the third quarter. The clock continues to wind on down. No one in the backfield for Jensen. We're looking like a pass here on a 3rd and long. Beauty of a pass. That time it's actually caught by the receiver, and it might be a 4th and very, very short. And you know they're going to go for it, especially when you need to come back to brew now. Oh, looks like they're going to call this a 4th and 2. Ooh. Giving Shaker maybe a bit of benefit of the doubt. They got to get to the 9. They're at the 11. 4th and 2. 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. They got to run off at least one more play right here. Jensen hikes this one. He'll just give it up the middle. Looks like they're going to get this one, and indeed they will, and a little bit more as the O-line helps push him forward for a 1st down. And now 1st and goal. Is this the first and goal for Willoughby South, I believe it is to be. Their offense has not really been moving it efficiently. They've been taking a lot of time off the clock, but that's not really what you need when you got to put points up on the board. If you don't got points, you're not going to win a football game. No way of getting around it. And this time, run will be stopped once more. And that should take us to the end of the quarter. Unless they want to hurry up one more play. Doesn't look like they will. 3, 2, and 1. That is the end of quarter number 3. Shaker has won yet again another quarter as they took 7 here in this third. 0 still on the board for South, and that's in totality. 21-0 is your score as we enter into the final 12 minutes of action. Fourth quarter coming your way. I'm here for the call of the fourth quarter. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We'll take a break as we flip sides of the field. First play of the new quarter. Number 9 breaks a tackle and he's in. There goes a shutout. Number 9, Jaden Hardy. He's gotten a couple touches this time. The touch will bring him into the end zone. 21-6 goes our score. We'll see how their kicking team is able to tack on a PAT. There in that third quarter on the run, Shaker brought it back a little bit more. Over 5 yards a carry with 9 carries, 50 yards in total. Willoughby South hit that 5 yards per carry mark exactly. 10 carries for 50 yards. And through the air, Shaker 3 of 6 difference, 64 yards. Willoughby South a lot more on the short pass side. This PAT is up. It is good. 21-7 is your score. Let's see if Willoughby South can actually get a comeback to brew. That's always one start when you bring it down to a 2-possession game. But Willoughby South through the air, 2 of 3 for 16 yards in that last quarter. And they may have had a better completion percentage, but when you're only averaging 8 yards per pass when the other team is averaging over 21, there's a bit of a difference. Time of possession, Willoughby South had 7.5, Shaker with 4.5. Right on the dot. 6 seconds off the clock here in the final quarter.
Got it. You say cues here? Got it.
6 seconds off the clock here in quarter number 4. Excuse me, I was just helping out the scoreboard operator a little bit. Still said third quarter. I'm not doing another third quarter. Shaker has proven that they've gotten a little bit tired on defense. You can't let Willoughby South now crawl back into this game possession by possession. Both kickoff teams heading back out to the turf. We are set. Woo! There is nothing like being back into the booth. This is so great. Best ambiance in the world is under the lights. Black sky, football game here at the Russell H. Rupp Stadium. The good thing, we're going to be here 6 times instead of 5. Not exactly sure how the schedule worked out that way, but last year we played South at home. We're doing it again this year. Everyone else has been flip-flopped. This one will go out of bounds, will it not? Yes, it will. There's a penalty, and Shaker will get it much further up. We'll see where they put it in high school. Might be a little bit different than the NFL, of course. Of course, in the NFL, you're getting all sorts of stuff on their kickoffs nowadays. I mean, I won't get into that right now, but don't worry, for high school, the exact same way. There's no landing zone. There's no real difficulty in understanding high school kickoffs. $11:54 to go in quarter number 4, and of course the second half, of course the game. Shaker up by 14. Looking to build upon their lead once more, build it back to 21. Edie fakes a pass off to his left side. Now it looks like he's going to run it. This is why he likes Lamar Jackson. He loves his play style. Jukes a linebacker, and he's still on his feet. Past midfield, over, out of bounds at the 40. Huge run by Jasir Edie, J10. Making magic happen with the footwork. First down and then plenty. 26 yards. And these are the runs we're looking for. Edie gives this one off to Cornell Beard. These are the runs we're looking for from the actual running back. However, this time he's going to be taken down immediately as he hits the line. They're going to rule this one no gain for the moment, but now it looks like they might. Looks like they're going to give him a gain of a yard. And that looks like it's the case. Second down, 9 to go. 11 minutes to go in the game. And they're going to try another run. Why not? And, well, Willoughby South is going to tell you why not. Once again, very, very limited game, and it brings us to a third. Pretty long. I'll rule it about 7 yards to go. Jasir Edie, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, ball on the left hash mark. Edie scanning the field, and that one's tipped right down by the defensive line. The man batted down there, number 72, Raheem Jones, the junior. Edie now 3 for 7 in passing on the half. Not a great completion percentage. When you're under 50, never really got a smile on your face. But now, Edie's got to pick it up, try to bring it back to 50. Of course, he's had bigger passes. He had that one for 44 yards earlier. Edie going to roll out to his right. He's got room to run, and he'll pass it instead. A toe-tapping catch. Number 3 will bring it in that time. Darius Coleman, the junior, on the reception. Looks like it was short, but not by much. And the South student section, may I say, this South student section, that's a dedicated student section. Of course, you're going about 40 minutes out from here. It's shorter than Menor, as it is just west of Menor. Shaker is southwest of Menor by a much longer distance. Only a minute 48 off the clock so far. as Willoughby South is going to move this one forward after that turnover on downs. Second down, and that was a pretty hefty gain. Maybe about 4. We'll see. Second and 3. Give them a little bit more credit. Maybe they're going to need it. 14 points to go until we're tied. We'll see if they can do that with another touchdown here. And they're huge. O-lineman getting the job done. That was an incredible play. Let's shout that guy out. 52. Hampton, the senior. That is a big dude. If you're lining up against him, you got to be ready. He's got that DeJuan Jones type of thing about him if we're going to compare him to a Cleveland Brown. 9:10 left to go. We'll get the third down alarm here at the stadium. No running back in the backfield. Here we go. The throw off to the left sides, and now it looks like we're going to get a jump. It came from the left side of the field. It was very close. He jumped. I don't think he really jumped off sides much, but oh well. Moves him forward 5, 1st and 10. So we move from the 37 up to the 42. Shaker up by 14, looking to keep it that way with less than 9 minutes to go in the game. They're kind of an awkward pitch from Jensen, and they're a big stiff arm, but it won't go far as Shelton wraps up the running back, number 10. Number 10, Patrizi, excuse me, hasn't gotten many touches today, but there's one, and he'll take the touch. Unfortunately, his coach not going to be too satisfied, as that'll move us back to a 2nd and 10, actually. Or back to 10 yards to go. Of course, new down at 2nd. And here, run up the middle. Pretty solid gain, maybe about 5. We'll see where they'll officially mark it. Yeah, that looks about like 5. Another run up the middle. Willoughby South has been doing that a lot. The issue is Shaker has continued to be ready for him. We'll see if they do it again. 3rd and 5. Low snap. Jensen holds, and now he's going to try to take off. 33 brings him down as the Red Raider run defense has been cooking. James Woods to bring him down. James Wood, the junior, running back, linebacker combo. Today he's the linebacker. And he'll move it to a 4th and 4. South is going to go in the hurry up, 4th and 4. I mean, let's see what they got in them. You need it here, and now it looks like we're going to have a timeout called by Shaker Heights before we get set for the 4th down. Shaker with 2 more left to go. 7 minutes, 3 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter in the game. We'll be right back. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call. Timeout break. We'll be right back. Fourth and 4. Willoughby South could really use this here. If they don't pick it up, they're in a world of hurt. Here's a throw, tipped down, still in the air, and now it'll be falling down to the turf. Shaker might have thought it was a fumble. Regardless, it will be a turnover on down. Shaker is going to hold them at the 4th and 4. 1st down and 10 for the Shaker Heights offense as they will return to the field. 21-7 is your score. We'll see who leads them out. It'll more than likely once again be Edie. Indeed, it will be. We were told Quinn Malone would get a couple drives, but it might just be one. He had one earlier in the first half. I don't think he's had one since. Jasir Edie back out there leading the offense with less than 7 minutes to go in the football game. Let's see if they can bring it back to a 3-possession football game. Edie fakes the pass. Now he's going to go deep. It's Chavis again, and oh, this time it'll be dropped. Chavis has had 2 touchdown completions on the day. That time just not able to bring it in. Something we saw from Willoughby South a lot today. Not much from the Shakers receivers. This time Edie's on the keep. He'll make one man miss, and now he's going to keep moving it. Might be taken back, though. We got Yellow Laundry down on the field. 6:44 to go in the fourth quarter. And once again, a South Rebel is down on the field. Perhaps just a cramp, though. I'll move his leg up and try to stretch it out a little bit. He's back. The man down there was number, let me make sure I get this. Yes, number 51, Braden Kinney. The junior back up on his feet and ready to go. Of course, week 1, you're going to get these cramps going. And that's every single week 1. No different here. Shakers offense on a 2nd down and long. 14, let's call it. Edie, high snap. He fakes the give, and he'll run it off to the left side once again. Makes one man miss. He'll stiff arm another. Eventually forced out of bounds, ran out of room to run. He'll get his shoulder pad fixed up by his teammate, and he'll return back to the field. And once again, another South man is down on an injury timeout. They'll roll this one a 3rd and 10 as he goes right back to the original sticks. But yeah, South down once again. I don't think we've had a Shaker injury timeout at all during this game. Willoughby South, I believe this is their 4th, maybe their 5th. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Hopefully he'll be back up on his feet. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum with the call. Man, that was down was their big running back, Kane Balash. He's had some big runs. He's had the biggest run for Willoughby South here today. And he was the man that was down. He did end up jogging off, or perhaps skipping off. But he should be all right. He should be back in momentarily. 3rd down, 10-4 Shakers offense. As Balash is a linebacker as well. That's why he was in there on that defensive play. Edie going to take off once again. Makes a man miss. Man, he can run. He'll go out of bounds. He's fun to watch run. Again, he's like Aiden Diaz. We saw him run a lot back in all these seniors his freshman year. So that's what, 3 years ago? Diaz was like that. There was just the question of whether he could actually sling it. Edie today, he's done rather well. He's just had that one pretty bad interception where he threw it right to a linebacker. We're just making sure this quarterback is actually going to be able to move it through the air. for now, it's been working all right. 21-7's the score. Shaker leads as the clock continues to wind down. 6 minutes to go. Shaker taking their sweet time. Got 4 seconds on the play clock. Edie finally snaps it a bit high, but he'll give it off to Cornell Beard. He'll break free. He'll make one man miss. Eventually one Rebel is going to bring him down, but he's inside the red zone past the 10. Cornell Beard, you love to see him run. You love to see him break free for these big gains. A big man with big gains. Why not? First and goal. Ball at the 10. And Edie with a high snap. He'll fake a throw. Now he's in a world of hurt as he is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Rule it as a sack. They'll rule that a loss of 4. Second and goal from the 14. And let's see what they got in them here. Now you kind of feel like you either got to go to the air here and you got to go to the air once again on third, or you run here to try to get a little bit more assistance before you go to the air. Let's see how they trust in J10 right here. Edie finally snaps it. It's a high snap. He'll give it off to Beard. Beard powers his way through, and he'll get it up to the 1. Who needs to pass it, says Cornell Beard. He barrels his way through, stopped just short of the goal line. And Shaker is nearing another touchdown. Let's see if they can punch it in here. I'd assume they'd go for it. If not, that would honestly be a smart move as well. If you just kick it up for 3, it'll move it back to a 3-point game. We'll see what they draw up here. Third and goal from the 1-yard line. Shaker has not had a touchdown since the first drive of the second half. And here they were going to give it off to Beard, and then we'll get a timeout called by Shaker. But right after they get the snap, we get the whistle blowing, so a bit surprised they did blow the whistle. A bit surprised they actually called the timeout in the first place. But regardless, Shaker's offense going to think this one over before the third and goal. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining. Whistle blows, we're back to it. 21-7 your score. Let's see if Shaker can cash in another one. Give to Cornell Beard, and he is just stopped short as he is pulled down by the leg by the man behind him. And now it looks like South is going to take a timeout. Smart move. If you want to crawl back into this game, you still got an opportunity, especially if you stop them here. It might be a smart move to call a field goal to make it a 3-possession game, but when you're at the 1, how can you resist? We'll be right back. 4th down and goal from the 1. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Vaughn Ullum, here with the call from the Russell H. Rupp Stadium. 3:37 to go. 4th down, 1 yard to go for the touchdown. And here they're just going to give it off once again up the middle, and they'll get the touchdown this time around. Shaker Heights throws up 6 more on the run. It was once again that guy, Cornell Beard. And that should just about put icing on the cake. It'll be difficult to get, especially when you've only had 1 touchdown all game. It'll be tough to get 3 in the span of 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's what, a touchdown every minute and 10? Yeah, that's not very likely. Here's the Lucas White to make it a 21-point game. It's up, it is good. 28-7 is your score. We're going to take another quick break as we get the kickoff teams set up onto the turf. Thanks for joining. Back to a 21-point game. And we're back with the final couple of minutes of this ball game. That kick, not as effective as other ones have been. It'll be picked up past the 20, but he can't get much further than the 30. We'll see where they officially mark it. Andrew Mullen, the sophomore, good leg from what we've seen. We've had some great kickoffs. We've had one go just about to the goal line. Last year, they were trusting in Jack Geisler for everything. They were trusting in him for the kickoffs. They were trusting in him for the PATs, field goals, everything. And they were supposed to have Will Tagan, who was a soccer player. Makes a ton of sense if you really think about it. He had a powerful leg. He was going to handle the kickoffs, but he left after week 1. He decided it's actually a bit too much to battle both soccer and football in the fall season. So it makes sense. It's just a bit difficult if you're the coach dealing with that special teams conundrum. And it looks like the Rebels called for a delay of game. First penalty of this half. They've honestly been a rather disciplined team if you come to penalties. Shaker, on the other hand, they have 4 penalties throughout the half. And they had 5 in that first half. 3:24 to go. Willoughby South now with a 1st and 15 after the delay of game penalty. There, a good pass. Always lit up right after the catch. And some stomps of aggression as celebration as Pettis, the sophomore, blows him up right after the snag. You'll love to see that. 3 minutes to go now. Oh, pick up 4 on the throw and catch. 2nd and 11. Here comes Jensen, and he's going to air this one out. He's got his man, and it's caught. He's dragged down past the 30. Lashley, the man on the catch. 40 yards on Whew, on that reception, real field flipper there. Now the men in red just need to lock up. They have had a lot of rest time here in this quarter. That time, oh, will that be a pick? It will not. It'll hit the turf before Shaker's Fidel was able to get to it. He thought it was a reception. Referee's not going to hear it. Looks like we had some yellow laundry down on the field. Looks like they ruled a personal foul on Shaker. Maybe a roughing the quarterback. We're not exactly positive, though. Our eyes were on the almost interception. Shaker is now at this point, they have taken 90 yards worth of penalties. That is not good, and I'm sure that's something that is going to be addressed later on in practices. Here's Jensen, throw right down the slant. I mean, he's hitting their hands. He's hitting them in stride. There's nothing Jensen can do. I mean, gotta feel bad for the kid at a point. Sophomore year, making these throws, making them right. Receivers are just not giving him any sort of assistance. 2.5 left to go. 2nd down and 10. Jensen looks to his left. He's good at scanning the field, and now he's going to take off and run. He'll make one man miss. He dives for the pylon. Does he get there? He does. That was impressive. Supposed to be a throw. He saw none of his reads open, just took it off and ran. Made a couple guys miss. Dove for the pylon. And there you go. Shaker still has South doubled up. But again, no time like now for a comeback. 2:18 on the clock. Here's second PAT opportunity here for their kicker. Let's see what they got. Here it comes. The kick is up. The kick is good. 28-14. Shaker's offense is going to take the field once again, unless this will be an onside kick, and I'm sure Willoughby South is going to try to pull something, as they are down by 2 possessions with 2:18 to go. You got to do something here. South has 2 more timeouts, so they are able to stop the clock and get it back that way, with only about 50 seconds being taken off the clock. But if you're South, I'm sure you got to do something here. The thing is, both special teams have been rather mediocre as a representation here today. So the question is, how will this turn out? Here it comes. And yep, they're going to try it. They gotta wait for it to go 10 yards. And they're trying to blow it forward. Not gonna work. As this one's gonna be Red Raider ball. .209 to go in the 4th quarter. Shaker's offense needs one more first down to really call this one a game. A lot of things to talk about if you're Shaker, but the good thing is that this was more of a cushion game. You were able to make mistakes this game. You were still able to get the victory, assuming they're going to hold on here. Cornell Beard moves this one forward, gain about 4. And are we going to get that timeout from South? Doesn't look like it. They're going to let this one go and then probably take their 2 timeouts after. Never over until it's over here in this game of football. Down to our final 100 seconds. Edie looks to the near side. Coaches tell him what to do. And now it looks like he is set. Moves his foot back. Moves the man in motion. That's Chavis. And now this high snap. Cornell Beard. Stutter steps for a moment. Now he'll move forward. It's not much. I'm calling about a gain of 3, 2. We'll see. Now, looks like they might give him 3. Third and 3 is what we're going to call this one. I'm going to disagree with the stadium announcer out here. 28-14 is the score. And now we did get that timeout. Cheerleaders still doing their thing. The band, of course, still off to the left side end zone. Getting a little chilly as the night goes on. Nothing crazy just yet. Of course, you're not going to have that same kind of heat after the sun leaves. 68 degrees is your temperature for the moment. We started more around the mid-70s. Minute 14 to go. After that timeout, we'll see what Shaker draws up on a 3rd down and about 3.5. Willoughby South hanging on for dear life. 1 first down, and it's all over. Edie sends McNutt in motion to the near side. Edie escaping the pocket, and now it looks like he'll just take off by himself, and he's perfectly good. He'll slide as the first down is achieved. Move those sticks. We'll see if South decides to take another timeout. If they do, it might be a bit of unsportsmanlike if you're really going to go there. Looks like they're just going to let this clock go, though. 50 seconds left to go. Shaker will be winning this one by a score of 28-14. Head coach Alex Nicholson has a lot of things that he's got to address. He's got to address special teams a little bit, and he's got to work with these quarterbacks to make sure Jasir Edie is able to make these reads. He's done well on the ground. We just saw right there. He can run it if he needs to. And there's 2 seconds on the play clock. Will they get it off? They will. Edie takes his knee, and victory formation means that Shaker will win this by 14. 28-14 will be your final. And Shaker will get the cheers from the crowd. The student section will go home happy. Nothing but touchdowns, 0 field goals, as we'll get the handshakes. Again, lots of things to talk about. The offense was shaky. The defense, however, they have locked up a great many times. They got an interception off of a tip. However, the tip only came because it was the receiver's fault. South is going to have a lot of things to talk about, especially that receiver room. They really did have a trying game. Their quarterback, he's perfectly fine. Jensen had himself a day, or at least he seemed like he should have had himself a day, but a lot of drops, a lot of these missed opportunities for the receivers brought this game to where it was. South really could have won this game, but they hurt themselves. Shaker, if we're talking about hurting themselves, I mean, look at the penalties. I believe it was 9 penalties in total. Or excuse me, it was 90 yards of penalties in total. And it, honestly, they hurt themselves throughout this game. Luckily, they were able to hang on. But it's not going to get that easier as the season moves on. Just like last season, it's going to get harder as the season progresses. You got those top 3 GCC teams in the final 4 weeks of the schedule. You've got teams like Solon, who can always come out and surprise you. However, next week, Shaker is looking for another victory as they are going to take on the Brush Arcs. It's going to be on the road. They took them on at home last year. But once again, it's going to be a flip-flop schedule, so they're going to take them on the road next week. And after that, only 3 more away games as we move forward. Alma Mater will play once again for Shaker Heights as the sky is fully black. I'm sure a lot of high school football games are just about wrapping up. I'm about to hop in front of the camera in just a moment. My stat person running a little slow for the first game back. No shame in it, of course. First week, you got to get everything in order. And again, coach has a lot of things he's got to clean up, and he's got a lot of practices to do it. He's got another week till he gets to the Brush Arcs. So let me hop in front and let me deliver some of these game stats. Shaker on the run. They only ran it 23 times. They passed it a lot more, actually. On the ground, 23 runs, 155 yards. Willoughby South, they ran it 37 times for actually less yards, 122. Their ground game was really struggling in that first half. Got a little bit better as the night went on. I'm sure there was some discussion in the locker room about that. But, of course, Willoughby South didn't have enough to eventually get it done in the end. Through the air, Shaker did well, got 213 yards. Willoughby South, they had, again, a great quarterback. Jensen did it really well. Luke Jensen, the sophomore, we were really rather interested to see how he would start off his season in that starting role. He went 13 for 21 for 89 yards. So they were shorter passes, but he did get a better completion rate. On turnovers, Shaker turned it over once on a bad interception from Jasir Edie. Hopefully he can clean that up. There was no receiver in the area, too, so hopefully he watches the film back. Maybe there was just some communication issues. We'll find out later as the season goes on. South, 2 turnovers. They really struggled in just about every aspect of the game. They had that kickoff turnover right as we got started. They had an interception that tipped off of a receiver's hands. There's a lot of issues that they got to clean up. And penalties, again, Shaker, that's really their concern. 9 penalties, 90 yards. That is something that just needs to be cleaned up. I'm sure head coach Alex Nicholson is going to address that. Discipline is, of course, important in any football program. But that's all from me. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're done with week 1 of the season. We're already 10% done with the regular season right after that. Again, we'll see you on the road in Brush territory. They'll be taking on the Arcs. Shaker beat them last year, just like Willoughby. Let's see if they can do so again with back-to-back opening schedule wins. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call. We'll see you on the road next week.